My name is Maximilian Peterson, otherwise known as Max the Black. I have been in and out of being poor and homeless for, well, let's see, since 2006. I had an injury. I broke both my feet, and ever since that I was lucky to even be walking today. Before that, I was pretty much a labor person. I was a trained wildland firefighter and lifeguard. I was going to go into swiftwater rescue. Unfortunately, my injuries prevented me from going into that line of work. Now, eventually, when I did start walking again, I eventually got into telemarketing and did that for a number of years. And eventually, some other things started to creep up on me that have been latent within my system, I guess. Things, mental problems, severe depression and things like that. As a matter of fact, it turns out the depression was the cause of my injury in the first place. I did it to myself because I felt guilty because I let someone else die. My cousin, Joe, died in 2002. I was a lifeguard and he drowned, and I was there. And just recently I finally kind of got over it, I guess, as best as you can. All my sad story aside, so obviously there's been a number of alcohol problems and things like that that have hindered my abilities to even walk out the door some days, you know. And currently I live with my dad, and I'm still looking for my own place, you know. I'm almost 30, so it's not like I'm, you know, a kid anymore. The problem is that a lot of people think that it's all due to laziness or all these other things, and it's really not. The stigma behind it, the whole kit and caboodle is really it's almost like racism, if you will. You know, you see someone that looks like they're poor, they automatically assume that they're a bad person, or they're going to steal from you, or something like that. As a matter of fact, my dad, who makes fairly good money, went to college and everything, I got accused of being a homeless person once because of the way he dresses, and he's totally not. So, really, again, it's the old story, don't judge a book by its cover. One of the other things that I've noticed, me and our friend Matt Trainer, we went to see Governor Dayton. He was doing a speech on his budget, and, you know, I was homeless and everything, and I didn't really look the part, but they wouldn't even hear me speak. I had my hand up the entire time to, you know, it was sort of a meet the public sort of thing. They let all kinds of other people take up all kinds of time, and they literally went around me. Totally snubbed me, and I don't know if that interview with Dayton was on TV or not, but and I don't even remember what I was going to bring up, but and it hurts, you know. And just because you might look different, just because you don't have any money, doesn't mean you're not smart. The amount of money in your wallet doesn't have anything to do with your intelligence, your wisdom, any of your focal attributes. So when to go back to, you know, what it was like when you're standing in a room with a whole bunch of people, and for somebody with anxiety, it's incredibly nerve-wracking. I had to sit like against the wall, and I had to. It was a room full of people, cameras, you know, and I was there to speak to the governor because it was my main reason for going, because there were some things that I needed to relay to them. I'm not even, because it's been a while since that happened. I don't remember what I was going to say exactly, but to be snubbed like that, especially in a room full of fellow Minnesotans, and you know, especially when Mark Dayton's one of the senators that's actually on our side, and yet his staff seem to walk around me as if there was something wrong with me, as if they knew that I was going to say something or bring up something that they really didn't want me to say, especially not on camera or in the public view. And it was almost like they could tell, because I was there with some people that worked with the Chum Center, and I'd gone in with them. Somehow they knew. Obviously, because I wasn't a working class person, they didn't want to hear from me, apparently. And I suppose it just sucks. Plain and simple. There was another time where we went down to, it was called the Homeless Day on the Hill. And we went down there to talk to senators and things like that. And walking into this room, the room was packed. They were doing all kinds of budget things, and these were families. I mean, these were people that were forced into homelessness because of the economy, for God's sakes. I mean, it's not anything to do with that they were lazy or any of those things. It's because the jobs just simply aren't there. And why aren't they there? Well, they can get outsourced. We sold them to China. We sold them here. Oh, we can make more money if we do this. Well, the only problem with making money can be good so long as when you get that money, you use it responsibly. And unfortunately, those with the money aren't being responsible with it. Now, we can go into all kinds of reasons why this economic crisis happens. Here's my theory. Very simple. It starts actually with education. You get all these people to pay all this kinds of money to go into some sort of field of research or work. Okay? They spend all their lives paying to go to do something. They keep people within their so-called, they don't call it a case system in America, obviously, but it is. I mean, unless you are born with the money or you get a scholarship, you have to pay for school. Now, this shouldn't be. You should just be able to go to school and to go to school. Other countries kind of do that. Then, the people that... So all the money still stays in the same places where it was all along. And unfortunately, again, why don't people have any money? Because someone else has it. It's plain and simple. A lot of people don't see the simplicity behind it either. It's complicated yet simple, just like in the Tao. Everything is complicated and simple. We've gone overpopulated, and we've also found so many convenient ways of doing things that, of course, all these old jobs that people used to get paid to do, well, they're not there anymore. Gene Roddenberry, the writer of Star Trek, once wrote in one of his shows, when you build a machine to do something for a man, you take a part of the man. Now, granted, please excuse the sexism behind the pronoun man. But I think it makes real relevance to what's happening today. I mean, most people abandon common sense for a light bulb these days. They'd rather listen to their phone than their own head. I mean, what are we turning into, droids? You're really going to trust your phone over your simple logic? Have we stopped teaching common sense in grade school? And I believe a lot of these problems could be solved by making a very few simple alterations to the educational systems. A lot of homelessness and a lot of poverty is caused simply by mental disorders and feeling like you're defeated. And unfortunately, a lot of these problems are completely ignited by society and by the media, and it really makes you feel like you have to give up. And some people don't have a choice. Part of the problem when you have a society of people that are automatically designed to sort of either loathe or fear those who are homeless, who are in poverty, or even if they just simply look different. Now, granted, a little bit of fear is okay, but too much, and it creates a world where you feel like you really don't belong anywhere. And this kind of fear, this kind of stereotyping of I don't even want to say just homeless, because it's more than just that. I mean, it's like being stuck in a rut in the middle of winter and over black ice. You have no kitty litter in your trunk, no tow truck, and basically you're forced to walk. And even after you walk, you find out that your car exploded by the time you get the tow truck. You know? And it seems like you just want to give up. And that's why a lot of people end up turning to drugs, alcohol, and all those things, because they're like, well, screw it. I'll just, my only goal in life is to get drunk every day, because, quite frankly, that's all society wants me to do. You know, you start putting yourself as that label, and eventually you just get used to it. And then you become comfortable being that. Some even proud of it. Everyone fears to a certain extent. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the will to act despite fear. So, but what it really feels like is nothing you can imagine. It's unless, I mean, even if you're a person who's ever had to deal with any kind of racism, or even as a kid not having the cool clothes, so to speak. And the fact that, you know, other people really, you know, they have a lot of fear of the homeless, of the people of this persuasion or that persuasion. It really is just like racism or sexism or any other bigots, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm out of elaborate words to use, so I'll just go plain. And there's a great number of us that are quite, you know, talented, even intelligent, insights into things that most people with Harvard degrees sometimes don't understand. You know, some of us have a grasp on things that really are. And of course, no one's going to listen because, you don't have any. If for example, let's say the President of the United States had. No, not president. Let's go with. Think of anyone that you could think of that people normally listen to. And would you listen to them any more or less due to how much money they had? Really? It should be based on experience, not what's in your wallet. I think Tyler Durden said it best when he said, "You are not the contents of your wallet. You are not your car, the car you drive. You are not the job you have. You're all the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world. You are not a beautiful and unique snowflake." And yet we are.